You got some good news going forward. First off, Lamar Jackson seems to be hurt. How hurt? To be determined. But if you saw this moment in the midst of Ravens Chiefs, as a Texans fan, you had to be feeling pretty good. I understand there's this idea of you want to beat the team when they're at their best. When you're 1-3, you take whatever you can fucking get. Jackson throwing his helmet off the way that he did right there, not a good sign. I would imagine there's a very good chance he's out. Texans have never beat Lamar Jackson. Texans have a pretty sad history against the Ravens. Outside of the one time that they beat them, I think before the Ravens ended up being Super Bowl champions in 2012. It's been very one-sided. And Jackson's not the only hurt Raven, because also coming out of their loss to the Chiefs on Sunday, Roquan Smith has a hamstring injury. Marlon Humphrey, their corner, has a calf injury. Ronnie Stanley has an ankle injury. One of their offensive linemen, Nate Wiggins, has an elbow injury. On top of that, they're getting their asses kicked defensively week in, week out. The Ravens defense, I think a lot of people liked it going into the year. They didn't love it, but they have been one of the worst units in the NFL. Allowed 41 points week 1, 38 points week 3 to the Lions, 37 points week 4 against the Chiefs. The 41 points that they allowed were against the Bills. Allowing 17 points against the Browns, that's like giving the Houston Texans credit for a 26-0 shutout over the worst team in the NFL.
That don't impress me much.
But they are struggling. So that's some good news for you going into this week's game. There's no line on the game. Also good news for the Texans going forward. The Indianapolis Colts lost. They lost a game against the New York Giants where Jackson Dart looked pretty damn good for New York. They lost Malik Neighbors with a torn ACL, but check that. Why am I talking about you know what? Hang on. But that was probably the most impressive win of the year, the most surprising win of the week. The Chargers beat the Giants 21-18. I don't know why I confused the Rams with the Giants. Brain fart, brain damage, CTE. But Colts lost. They lost because Adonai Mitchell completely fucked up. He was about to score a touchdown. He made an incredible play to almost score a touchdown. And as he was crossing the goal line, he did the thing that everybody should be punished for. If you fumble at the goal line, you should be punished. And a touchback is an appropriate punishment. Stop being a fucking idiot and dropping the football before you cross the goal line. But Mitchell did that. And the Colts get their first loss, 27-20 to a Los Angeles Rams team. By the way, all the good teams all the teams that the Texans lost to, all the teams that they lost to at this moment in time are 3-1. So how about that? Huh? Rams beat the Colts. The Bucs finally lost, but to the Eagles, defending Super Bowl champions. And the Jaguars beat the 49ers, who might be mediocre. Also good news, per Ross Tucker of CBS Sports in the midst of yesterday's Texans-Titans game, quote, "We did see Tank Dell was out running sprints, which is encouraging. They are a different offense when that young man is out there. The connection that young man has with CJ Stroud and has going back to the rookie year is special." Also of note, I'm not the biggest Ed Ingram fan, and Ed got absolutely torched on that one sack by Jeffrey Simmons, which I guess is like the fastest sack that's taken place in the NFL in years. But Ingram, get this, per Pro Football Focus, Ed Ingram is the highest graded guard in the NFL through 4 weeks. That courtesy of at Texans Jacob. Ingram is first in overall grade, 85.6. The next closest is 76.3. And in run blocking grade, 90.6. Next closest is 82.3. He was the highest graded Texan against Tennessee with an 88.9 overall grade. Pro Football Focus, how much stock do you put into it? I don't put much stock into it at all, but Ed Ingram somehow is doing really well. Some bad news going forward, though. The Jaguars won. They won. How did the Jaguars win? I don't fucking know. There was some drama about sign stealing after the game, which we will save for a later episode this week. Everyone steals signs. But they are now 3-1, as are the Colts, who lost. So you've got two teams ahead of you in the AFC South by 2 games, one of whom has beaten you already. So they're basically 2.5 games ahead of you. Meanwhile, there are a lot of believable contenders that have better records than you in the AFC. Let's just run through them. The Bills are 4-0. They are the last undefeated team left in the AFC. We talked about the Colts and Jaguars. You know the Chargers are off to a really good start, though they did lose to the Giants today. Then you got the Steelers, who are also 3-1. And I don't think the Steelers look really good, but they definitely look better than you've looked to open up the season. The Chiefs played the best game they've played in a really long time in that ass kicking they had of Baltimore yesterday. I mean, their offense looked good. Having Xavier Worthy back, huge difference. They won 37-20 yesterday. So the Chiefs look all the way back, even though they're 2-2. Then you've got some other teams, and you're taking that record with a grain of salt. The Patriots are 2-2. I know that they smoked the Panthers yesterday, but the Panthers are doo-doo. Marcus Jones, shout out to the Cougs legend with an awesome day punt return-wise. I think he set the Patriots record for punt return yardage in a game. The Bengals are, without Joe Burrow for the next couple of months, you don't take them very seriously, and they lost yesterday. Actually, no, there's a doubleheader tonight, Monday Night Football. You got the 1-2 Broncos taking on the 2-1 Bengals. I forgot there's 2 games tonight, and you also got Jets Dolphins. So one game starts at 6:15, the other game starts at 7:15. Please explain that to me. I don't get it. But more bad news for where the Texans are. You're 1-3, the same amount of wins as the Ravens, who you play on Sunday, but it's a banged-up Ravens team. An underachieving team that a lot of people like going into the year. You have the same record, at least as far as total wins, as the Denver Broncos, who a lot of people also like going into the year because of their defense. So, some good news, a little bit of bad news coming out of the dub.